Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Colleen from TERRA. Always nice hanging out with you, Colleen, because you come up with cool ideas, and we kind of need that right now. Because
it's Christmas coming.
Yes, we're thinking about planning for the holidays, decorating within your maybe very, very, very tiny little dwellings that some of us have now, and you have to come up with other options. You can't even fit a tree in the door. Where are we going to put a tree? So you've come up with ideas for people to decorate for the holidays and have a tree, kind of, tree-ish.
Well, everybody has ornaments, so you got to have some place to hang your ornaments or something to be festive. So even those who do have trees quite often will have secondary trees or a tree in a kid's room or on a balcony or something like that as well. So these are great alternatives for small spaces.
Well, that's the thing. And, you know, some people have trees all over their houses. They have the ability to do something like that. But as you say, if you want to stick a tree in your kid's room or some tiny little place, something like this little guy, just like a mini Christmas tree.
It's excellent. It's a little Fraser fir, so just like the big versions of it that someone might have in their house, this is just a little mini version of it. So they're small, they're compact, they hold their needles really, really well. They come in a little stand, so you can still keep it watered like you would your regular tree.
Awesome.
So it's just like a little miniature version of the big thing.
So you're getting that same wonderful Christmas smell in your house.
Yeah, you get the fragrance out of it.
Yeah.
You get the leaf retention. It has good branching and a strong branching, so you can shove all your ornaments in there and just pack it full.
This is so nice if you think about some of the condos and apartments, and so you still get that feel inside, outside, wherever you want. Or again, if you have a larger place, this could be just a tree for, put it in the bathroom, put it wherever.
Good, for sure.
Just add to the decor in your home.
Definitely.
All right, plan B.
Plan B. This is very Scandinavian, where it's great for, you can put like all the same ornament on it. It's also really good if you have a collectibles ornaments.
Oh,
so it really puts, like those ones that mean something to you, so they're a little bit more centered out and a little bit more effective so that people can see them individually and they don't get lost in a big tree.
A lot of times they do get lost in trees, and you're hoping someone will go over to the tree and take note of the ones you've tried to put within sight line. Look at this one, I've had it for 35 years. So this is a good way to make pay focus.
Definitely.
I like that, that's cute.
And it all folds really flat, so especially if you're in a condo, like, you can throw it in your storage space and it's not going to take any space whatsoever.
And that's the thing, that's a good point. So with a fresh tree, obviously out it goes. With a tree like that, it's easy to store and small.
So either compost or flat storage.
Right, okay. I like how you throw the compost. Don't just throw it away, Leslie.
I'm a gardener, so.
I know. No, I agree with you. 100%. Okay, what is this?
This is Judy Garland. So an alternative to a tree, and you still want the greens, but you love your fashion, this is a way to do it. So this is just the dressmaker's Judy, and we've put on a tomato cage upside down and fastened it to the Judy. So this becomes your skirts, and then you just take your whatever greens you want. So this way you still get your fresh greens, and you just bunch them up. You don't need to cut them very much either.
Put on under her skirt.
So I've already done a bunch because it does take a little while.
Sure.
Get your favorite TV show and,
Yeah, because you said you were making this in your...
I was making this last night while I was watching
your TV room. So if you recall watching our Halloween segment from a little while back, and Colleen is the one who was responsible for the crazy witch one that we did with the legs coming out of the planter. Everybody loved that idea. So many people used that idea, Colleen, and just thought it was hilarious with the broom and the witch legs and everything. So of course she's come up with this.
It's a little classier version. So the witch now has a dress on and she's much more nicer.
So you would build it all the way around.
So you build it all around, starting from the bottom. You can layer it with different types of greens.
Okay.
On the Judy itself, I've actually wrapped it in plastic to protect it because I'm putting the burlap over top of it, and this is usually a nice fabric, so I don't want to wreck it.
Okay.
And then I've actually secured some of these Judys, you might be able to just kind of poke it right in to hold it.
Right, just depends, some of them.
Yeah, I strung mine on just for extra security.
Okay.
And then I've just used burlap, and just as a dressmaker pinning it, I just used some of my sewing pins.
You're a creative little one, aren't you? You love these assignments.
Well, I have boys, right? So I have to be able to have some creativity for myself.
I know, I'm with you too. I have a boy too.
So then you keep pinning.
Okay, turn. And look at this. So you can just imagine creating this dress. This is so cool. I walked by this earlier and I said, look at that, that's awesome. And of course, I found out it was you.
And just like, any dress, to make it fit, you can pin little darts in it, and it's just like pinning as if you were fitting a dress or fitting something to yourself. So I've just got these little dressmaker's pins here.
Now, how easy is it to find these Judys?
It's not too hard. You can go online and find them as well.
I figured, yeah. I figured that would be the best way to source them, right?
So you just kind of pin it in so that it all kind of fits and it's not too bulky.
Look at
And then
the
you can see here I've got the cedar on the bottom, and then this is actually a silver fir that I've used 2 ways.
Okay.
So this is the right side,
look.
and then this is the back side of the silver fir, so you can get that color combination in it. And then I've also put on some magnolia leaves.
Okay. And
the
so just like in fashion, you've created light and texture.
Exactly. And with the magnolia leaves, you can just kind of weave them in.
Okay.
So you just kind of fit them in there to give you that extra layer. And this gives more of a straighter, longer skirt. You can also use chicken wire and like really, if you want like a ball gown.
Oh, you could build it
and
right now.
really build it out. It takes a lot of greens to do that if you have more space. But this is something if you have just kind of like a neat little corner.
Just stick a tutu on her and then build it.
You could do that as well.
I think the greens will probably be too heavy, and we'll go with the chicken wire.
But you could fit in like any mesh or ribbon that you want to
Right.
with it as well. And then
So that's the thing, you can just build on this. So
Totally.
once you have made this as big, as flowing as you want it to be, then you get to start decorating.
yeah, so just like you would on your tree, you could take your ornaments.
This is awesome. How great would this be in some, fashion designer's front window or
for
something
sure.
like that? You're going to give people a whole lot of ideas.
Have a little fashionista, and you have your own fashionista in your window.
And you could use like ribbon and wrap it through and around. Okay, just let that one go. We don't need it.
Shatterproof. You know.
That's why you buy shatterproof ornaments,
Unbreakable.
kids.
So just wire
This is
them on.
hilarious. I love it.
And you can layer it around too. So like as this is layered, you can use different colors of the ornament balls too, and like start with silver at the bottom and fade up to red and fade up to like another color. So you could actually have rings of color with your ornaments.
You could actually go like ornament crazy on this, right?
Totally, like
as
you can have
say,
it totally loaded. Especially if you have a ball gown, you can have it just be jeweled as if it was like Cinderella's gown.
Oh my gosh.
And then you can also accessorize.
That is so fun.
So you can find,
You can think about
a
the
nice little
options.
bling necklace.
All right, give her a necklace.
And then if you want it a little bit higher end than burlap too, you can also use, just like a scarf.
Sure.
And you can change the
Wrap it.
neckline of it.
Okay, but in this case, you're going to kind of wrap it around at the top anyway, like a
You
shawl.
can either wrap
right?
it
Or a
around the top
scarf.
like a shawl,
Oh.
or you can also
Oh, look at
Pull
how
it
much
around the
color that
waist.
gives.
and then with the fringe on here as well, then you can, just the way you knot it, and you can pin it up a little bit more if you want to too, just to give it a
Awesome.
little bit of texture, but it gives it that color.
That is such a great
little bit more
idea. So from
Christmas.
underneath, we've got our little Judy, and we've got our
Yeah.
little tomato upside down tomato
Upside down tomato cage.
and then from there just build on
Yeah,
and
just wire it up, build as many layers as you want.
Yeah.
You can use any type of green that you want, so you can
Sure.
get those different textures of the greens.
I love it. You're creative. This is a very cool idea. So anywhere you want to put this in the house, make sure it's a focal point and people can see it, or you'll be inviting people up to your bedroom or wherever you put it. Make sure they can see this. Great idea. Thanks, Colleen.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of Terra. Make your Christmas dreams come true at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. I'm here with Tamara from Canoe. We're on Locke Street in Hamilton, and as we edge closer to Christmas, less than a month away, we need to talk about the men in our lives. And well, hey, you know what? I think that this could be the perfect location for us to start, because this shop actually has female products as well.
It does?
Yes, but right now we're going to focus on the man.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So tell me a little bit about Canoe, though.
So Canoe is a lifestyle shop. Our idea is to live a simplified life and surround yourself with really good quality goods and items that are going to last you a lifetime.
So not a whole lot of junky stuff.
Not at all.
Just pick the real good, solid things, and they will last you for a
Absolutely.
very long time.
We've got handcrafted items made by local Hamilton makers, all the way to some really great authentic brands from here in North America.
And when I think about quality, I mean, right away I look at these boots. They just look like they're made well. They look like they're going to last a long time.
Absolutely.
So for when we talk about different types of men, you know, and what their likes are, there's something for everybody in this store.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so give me an idea as we kind of start. We'll make our way around and sort of, you know, for the man at home who's looking for something, and I think sometimes females have a hard time trying to find something for their boyfriends, husbands, brothers, dads. So
Yeah, it's
lots of
hard.
inspiration in here.
Yeah, we have some really good stuff. So if you've got a guy that likes to entertain and likes to have some parties and maybe likes to
Mix a few
yeah,
drinks.
he's a mixology kind of guy. He likes to dabble. We've got really great homemade gin kit.
Okay.
And what they can do is they can actually just go get a bottle of vodka, and then he makes it at home, and he'll have some really great gin.
That's hilarious.
And then if he wants to get a little bit more creative, we have Dylan's cocktail bitters here, and then he can even make different drinks like Moscow Mules or a really great Caesar out of some of the drinks we have.
We've had Dylan's on the show before. We actually visited them at their location in Niagara, and so we are familiar with those bitters and what you can do with them.
Yep.
So sometimes for some guys they haven't gone there yet, so that could be something that could really kind of up the ante in the gifting
Absolutely.
side of things. So
And then they can make the drink, and then they can put it in one of those leather-wrapped moonshine mugs. It's a great mug not only for the guy who has a great drink in there, but you can also put coffee in it. So if he's on his way to work,
That's neat.
he can throw a coffee in it, and it's a nice reusable cup.
Oh, I love that idea. There's just so much on the table. It's like it's hard to even know where to begin. Okay, so let's talk about the next kind of guy we were looking at.
So some guys like to be outdoorsy. So they like to head outside and have a little bit of fun outside. So what we have for them is we have some really great candles that kind of smell like outside. It kind of gives you the idea of being in a forest.
Yeah.
Some handcrafted leather keychains that they can just throw on their belt and head outside. And we even have something for their best friend. So if they have a dog in their life, handcrafted leather leash for him and his best friend.
Oh, that's neat. But again, we're talking about such good quality products. You can just see it. You can see it in the leathers. And what's great about this as well is that they're not going to see themselves coming, as we like to say that term, where a lot of these certain things that not everybody's going to have.
No, absolutely not. And
It's
again,
special.
a lot of stuff is hand stitched. Again, made local, made here in Canada, and they are going to last a long time. And maybe he's going to have it, and he's going to pass it down to maybe his son or his daughter down the road.
Exactly. Okay, next.
So next we have, if you guys are a little bit, maybe he's a lawyer, or he goes to a job where he has to kind of dress up a lot, or maybe he likes to go out a lot. We have some beautiful wood cufflink sets here, made in Guelph. As well as some beautiful leather wallets.
And that's the thing, some guys are so trendy and so fashionable, and they really do care about what they, they're not just, nothing against just throwing on a pair of track pants and a t-shirt, but, when you may be that guy on a Sunday morning, but then, the night before you were dressed into the nines. So it's nice to have something a little different, again, especially.
And everyone's made
cufflinks.
differently too, like the stippled maple, which is the wood one there. Every piece is going to be individual and unique, so nobody's going to have the same one.
And you can see how people are like, hey, where'd you get that from? Looking at your cufflinks and that. So that's kind of cool. Gloves are always a great gift. People tend to misplace them. So get him a good pair of gloves. Get them in the car.
Yeah, these are elk leather, so they are going to last forever. They're going to keep his hands really nice and warm. Plus, he's going to look fashionable at the same time, which is sometimes a challenge with men. They sometimes don't think about how to be as fashionable as they can be.
Some of them can be just very so practical, which is that's what we love about you.
So these are practical, but they're beautiful at the same time.
Also looking good too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then that goes with some leather belts there. Again, those are beautiful belts made by Filson. Will last again a lifetime.
Okay, and the beard. The beard is still happening right now.
The beard is really, really hot right now, and we sell a big range of beard products for the guy who has just maybe a little bit of little bit of stubble on his face, all the way to the guy who has a really huge beard.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
some of them are getting crazy.
They are.
You gotta
And
keep control.
Yeah, absolutely. And these products help not only help their skin so that it's nice and soft and subtle, and they also smell really great. So it smells good for them, but then it smells great for us too.
Yes, at least the beard oils and that, right? You have to take care of that beard. And you know what, if you haven't had one before, I don't really know what's going on underneath there, so you need to take care of
Absolutely. So we have some really great beard products here, and we have a really good local Hamilton guy too who makes
That's
fantastic products.
Great.
And then you can put it all into a little bag here,
Yeah.
and maybe do it as a little combination gift for them. So buy a couple different things and then put it in the case and
Right.
wrap it up.
What do you call this guy? Who has this?
This is a Growler Carrier. Growlers are fantastic. So if you're heading off to a party or you're
Too funny.
heading to a friend's house, you just throw a Growler in here, and then you can just throw it over your hip or hold it on a carrier. What we do is once we're finished with the Growler, we actually fill it with water, and then we take them on hikes. So it's a multi-purpose thing again.
That's
We
neat.
are really about living simply and using things as much as we can and not a throwaway.
Yeah.
We want to have those heirloom pieces. So here's something you can use with your beer, and then you can use it
Sure.
to go for a hike.
I love that. I could see guys using that for sure. Obviously, you know, we were talking about some of the accessories, but clothes. Sometimes guys don't like to go shopping. Some do, some don't. And sometimes they need that little bit of help from their partner to
Yeah, we have
a look.
Yeah, beautiful jackets here and shirts. So we have, again, a little bit of price ranges all the way from shirts that are a little bit more reasonable to jackets like this that is going to last them forever.
I have to mention this before we go. We don't have much time, but I took to these right away. And so City of Neighborhoods, and that's what's cool about this. So this is Hamilton, and then they've got all the neighborhoods in Hamilton, which is pretty awesome.
We are the exclusive provider of City of Neighborhood hats here in Hamilton. We have Hamilton, we have Westdale, we have Stony Creek, and we have the Mountain. So if your guy lives in Hamilton and you want to get him something personable, these are really great.
I love this one because as a kid, I was always saying when you were younger and you were from Hamilton, you'd always say, "I'm from the Hamilton Mountain." So this one stood out to me. Now you're just proud to be from Hamilton, period.
Absolutely.
So this is pretty cool. So great gift ideas for all kinds of men, and they even have chocolate. So
Get
lots
to
of
man's
good stuff.
heart by food, man.
And you know the best part is, as a female coming in here buying for your man, they're all female products, as we mentioned, that you may end up walking away with a couple Christmas presents for yourself.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tamara. Again, located down on Locke Street in Hamilton. It's called Canoe. More TERRA at home to come.
When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're here with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant in Hamilton. And what are you making today?
Well, we decided to do a brown rice, a wild rice. And just, you know what, a nice side dish. We don't eat wild rice as often as we should.
No.
It's very, very good for you. It's very healthy. It's not bleached. It hasn't been processed a lot. So what we have here is a rice that was been soaking for 24 hours. Now that's the key to wild rice. You have to soak it for 24 hours.
really?
Okay.
I didn't know that.
A lot of packages say that you don't, or a lot of rice will say it'll come with a tag says do not. Take my word for it, soak it for 24 hours. It makes it so much better. It speeds up the cooking process, and it helps prevent it from breaking down while you're cooking it, because without soaking it, you end up having to cook it longer, and the more you cook it, the more it's bubbling and stirring and stuff like that, there's a better chance of it all breaking down into individual.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, so you
I
just
know you
want to
don't
keep
see it very often, right? So you just stare at it because they're long pieces
long.
and It just looks so raw.
It is.
great, though.
It's a great rice. It's got its own natural flavor. So this one here, all we're going to do is we're going to enhance it a little bit by basically putting some vegetables into it. So we have some carrots, we have a shallot, we have some celery, a red pepper, and some portobello. We're going to saute that separately from the rice, and we're going to cook the rice, and then we're going to mix the whole thing together. The other way of doing this is once we're done it all, we're just going to toss it in a pan like a stir fry almost.
Sure.
But the other way of doing it is to put it into a casserole dish after you've cooked all these items, and then bake it in your oven. Then you have more like a rice casserole.
Okay.
So
all right,
it's another
this is
way
good.
of doing it. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to add some regular rice. So this one, I just took some rice, rinsed it out, and we just have some water sitting in some water. And we're going to use that to cook that off.
Okay, so why do you have that one sitting in water?
You know what? This one here, we're going to use. This one just went in about half an hour ago.
Okay.
Into some water, and that just helped break it up. This one is more common. You're going to find that this one is the one that your body recognizes.
Sure.
So it adds some nice color to it, and it just breaks
Yeah.
it down. Adds a little more starch to the dish as opposed to just being wild rice.
All right. Sounds good.
You don't have to add it. It's just something I do.
trust you.
It's just something I do from time to time. So we're going to take a carrot and we're going to give it a dice. We get this all cleaned up. And as you can see, having a good carrot peeler makes all the difference in the world.
How many carrots have you peeled in your life, especially when you were a youngster,
It's
learning
been
how
a
to
few.
cook, eh?
It's been a few.
You're on carrot duty. There's all the bags over there, Mark.
That's exactly it. You get carrot duty and potato duty when you
Potato duty.
first start off in the kitchen.
Oh,
And that's your job.
it's not as glamorous as it is now, eh?
No, this is why you bring in those young guys to do all this for you.
When you're first starting out, and it's so funny because my son was just saying recently he comes out with a different job he wants every other day, and he wants to be a chef now. And I said, you know how it starts out, right? So you got to get in the kitchen and just peel a bunch of carrots and learn how to chop.
Start off in the dish room first,
Right,
and then from
dishes
there
too.
you get to progress onto this big
That's right,
stuff, the fun
dishes.
stuff.
That's right. It's even better.
So we're just going to do a nice dice on this.
And now you even have people doing this stuff for you, right?
You know what? I still try to stay on top of my knife skills, so a lot of the time I'll do it myself.
That's good. I'm just bugging you.
Can't get everybody to do everything for me.
Well, I like to pretend that's where,
There we go.
where it goes.
All right.
See how we did that? That's so smart. You
That way
cut
it's
in
not.
this way and then that
Yeah,
way.
that way it's not falling apart on you.
And it doesn't take half the time.
That's right. And we'll do the shallot. So what we're going to do with the rice, like I said, this has already been soaking, so there's already some moisture in there, and the other rice is sitting in water. Now you can always use vegetable stock if you wanted to. The only reason I'm not using vegetable stock is the one that I had made, I used a lot of red onions in it, so it's very, very dark. Okay, so and there was a purpose for it at the restaurant. So if you have a stock that is really, really dark, you're going to lose all the colors that you're going to get out of this. It'll end up staining. So we're using water for today.
All right.
A lot of people don't have stock as well, so. All right. So we're going to do a little dice on this as well. Nice and quick. Again, this is one of those things. Prep is the main thing. You know, as long as you've soaked your rice the night before, you remember that. Then after that, it's a matter of dicing all the vegetables, which you would have done ahead of time, and then into the pan it goes.
It's always nice when you have all your prep done, you have it all right out in front of you when you start cooking. The worst thing is when you're missing an ingredient
And then
and
you
you've
gotta jump
started the
back.
cooking process.
That's right. All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of garlic. I'm going to fry this, and this is what the pan that the rice is going to go in.
Okay.
I'm going to fry up that garlic. Now I'm going to take our rice. And we're going to take our white rice.
What kind of oil did you use in there?
That was just canola oil.
Canola? Okay.
Now, by soaking the rice too, what we were able to do is you're able to time both of these rices will cook at the same time now.
That's smart.
A little bit of water into the pan, let that go. And now some salt. And a little bit of pepper. And you're just going to let that rice do its thing. In the other pan, We're going to start sauteing the carrots, the shallot, and the celery. And we'll put a little bit of salt into this. A little bit of pepper. And now we got our portobello. And again, I've taken all the fins out of the portobello.
So we're keeping those pieces nice and big.
Yep. And they will shrink.
Yeah, I was
Again,
gonna say
a lot
they
of
will 'cause
water.
of
They're
water,
gonna,
right?
yeah, they're gonna shrink down and soften up once they start sweating out.
Okay. Now is the pepper going in that as well?
Pepper's going in as well.
Okay.
And we're keeping it separate because this is going to take a little bit longer to cook than the rice.
Okay.
We'll get all that into a pan, and we're going to do our pepper.
So basically, once you get the pepper in there, we'll just kind of let that cook up.
Saute it all together.
All right.
Yep. And then we're going to put it all together. And you, like I said, you can bake it or you can put it into the bowl the way it is as a stir fry.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll continue this, and we'll be back with more to show you the final product.
When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Summer camp means a lot to me, and it's the best place on the earth.
With the Hamilton Spectator Summer Camp Fund, we believe that a single experience can change a child's life. Every year, the fund supports around 800 kids who wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to go to camp.
I get to let all my joy out and have the best time I ever can.
By giving kids a camp experience, we give them a glimpse of what is possible. Donate today.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark, and ta-da, all finished.
Yeah, a wild rice dish. So we sauteed those vegetables, and all we did was put them in that canola oil and just fried them up nice and high real quick. Cooked off the rice, and I added a tablespoon of butter into that.
Okay.
Okay. And again, this is the part where you could put it in a casserole dish and bake it in the oven if you want. We're just going to do it as more of a stir-fried rice.
So what are you getting from cooking the rice that way in a pan the way you did versus in a pot with a bunch of water and boiling it for 45 minutes?
I find that when you do it in a pot, the ones on the bottom tend to cook a lot faster than the rice on top, and you're constantly stirring. And I don't like to stir rice because it does break down. Okay, rice should not be stirred as often as people stir it. It's not like a risotto where you're stirring constantly, okay? So by doing it in a pan, something wide bottom like that, you get a little bit more even heat distribution. You don't have to worry about stirring it with a utensil. And then when you put it in the pan, you just have to give it a toss and it mixes everything together.
Awesome. That's great.
Now, this could also be used, we're talking about it off camera there, you could put this on top of nachos. You've add some chili sauce to that, and you can put it on top of some nachos, and you got a great vegetarian nacho.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a
That'll
neat
take
idea.
some chives.
I missed that conversation.
But what's nice about this is, like I said, you have, you know, it's a real nutty flavor to it, and it's got a nice outdoorsy.
Oh, it smells so good. What a
And it's
great
just
dish
a
for this time of year,
great
too.
side dish for this time of the year.
It's pretty, colorful.
Again, you just have to remember, soak the rice ahead of time, and you end up with that. And real simple.
You can actually get this recipe from our website as well at terragreenhouses.com and try it out. As you say, vegetarian, because you are using completely all vegetarian materials right from the get-go. So
That's right.
You're not using any kind of chicken stock or anything like that in it, and it's good to go. I love it. Nice
Thank
idea.
you.
Thank you very much. And again, yes, sure, you can make it into nachos this weekend if you'd like.
There you go.
That's it for now. Have yourself a good one.